This is HBR News number 510. Texas flood. Diddy slips out of trouble. We discuss the news of the week and give it the Badger treatment. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Honey Badger Radio. Hope you guys are doing well this week and that you're laughing at all of the absurdities so that you are not consumed by it. I am your host, Brian. I'm joined by, as always, my lovely co-hosts, Hannah Wallen and Dr. Ranmercam. On today's HBR News, we might as well just get right into it because there's a lot going on. We are going to be discussing the latest news of Sean Diddy Combs' acquittal, which may have come as a surprise to some. Texas floods highlight male heroism. When I say Texas flood, I'm not talking about the song of the same name by, I forget the guy. He's a great guitar player. But no, an actual flood in Texas. And there's a lot of discussion about, environmentalism and the way the government reacted or whatever. But I wanted to talk more about the heroism of the men that went in to essentially do what they could to minimize the damage, and how that, I don't know that it's getting enough attention. The White House, speaking of things not giving a lot of attention, the White House recently made some statements about men that I talked about with Allison, but I wanted to bring it back up on this show and more. So stick around. It's going to be a good time. And be sure to join us afterwards for the patron-only shows. For the guys who are watching on the mobile version of this video, we're going to be looking at this article from the Daily Mail that is entitled, "Girls Should Be Mobilized to Stop Boys Becoming a Waste of Space," says Peer, as she urges them to expect more from relationships. God knows what that means, but I guess we'll get into it in the patron show. But of course, girls should be mobilized to stop boys from becoming a waste of space. Sounds a little bit like, a hook, a jab, and then a hug, or maybe in the wrong order. I'm not really sure. So
this is a right-wing publication. You
The Daily Mail is?
Yeah, it's considered the furthest right of all the newspapers in Britain. And they're
still doing near left wing. In the United States, it's a near left wing publication, as opposed to a far left wing publication.
Magazine, as opposed to Women's Health. Yeah. Well, yeah, I never thought of the Daily. I thought the Daily Mail was basically bordering on like a tabloid because of like all their ads and articles, like so and so is looking good at 50. Leonardo DiCaprio's got his dad bod on.
It is a tabloid.
Yeah.
But the reputation they have in Britain is they're always complaining about immigrants.
Oh, well, that is far right.
But when it comes to girls and boys, it's a different story. I mean, they're complaining about immigrants.
They literally have a page called Female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The immigrants gives them an opportunity to shit on men. And that's the story of every newspaper.
Yeah.
They will clutch on any story that gives them an excuse to shit on men and simp for women.
Yeah.
Welcome to the modern age, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into it.
Yes, let's get into it. So we'll be looking at this article. It's obviously, I think it's part opinion piece. But if you want to be a part of this content, you have to become a Badger. Go to feedthebadger.com and start a monthly subscription to join our Discord server. You can also just go to badgernation.online to check out the free version of it. And you'll be able to watch all of the additional content like the patron shows. And you could even become a part of the conversation yourself and give us your take on whatever it is we're discussing. So please consider doing that. feedthebadger.com /subscribe. And I guess we have a meetup. We have meetups coming up, a couple of them.
Yep.
Hannah, do you want to tell them a little bit about, yours is next month, and then there's one in September.
In September. And there is a blog post that should have published this morning, unless I fucked up. And I didn't get to check because I was going to do the things I needed to do to make sure I have my passport renewed before September. But this upcoming meetup, the August meetup, is on the 16th, Saturday the 16th, and we will be meeting in Beaver Creek at Round 1 in the Fairfield Mall. Nice thing about that area, that space, is we don't need a reservation to be there. We don't need to spend any money ahead of time to just like descend upon the place and play games. It's designed to host a lot of people, and it's going to be too loud to do anything even in the meeting room. So I'm not going to try to do all that unless people really want me to, and then we'll fundraise for it. But it's going to be, I can't remember what time I set up for it, but the venue closes at 2 a.m. I'm going to say the meetup will end prior to that. I might stay later, but we'll see what happens. And it'll be up to people to decide when they want to get there, when they want to leave, and if they're going to spend the night someplace. That's on everybody because I won't be arranging that this time. So there we go. There will be, if you don't want to buy food from round one, which their food is pretty good, but if you want other things, there's plenty of places in the surrounding area. There are places that you can walk to in the mall that are like restaurants, and then there's of course the food court, and then outside the mall there are several restaurants nearby that area. So that'll give you plenty of time to take a look around and see a good place to stay and stuff like that. And if you want to eat before you come and eat after you leave and that kind of thing, there's, like I said, lots of everything from cheap fast food to like the more expensive restaurants and everything. And then I don't know as much about the September venue. The only details I know are the ones in the blog post. So
Yeah.
I'll refer you to the post that was put up today. And if you are listening later than today, like listening to this, in a couple of weeks or something, just look for it under my posts or look for it under meetups in the search bar and you'll find it.
Yeah, so check that out. We have a couple meetups coming up. Getting back into the whole like let's do stuff in touch grass while we're at it. So hopefully you guys can make it. I know Lindsay and I are going to try to come to both of those. So we're going to have JoJo with us because we can't really like go anywhere without him. So that might be a bit of a challenge. Although the hotel that Allison has picked out for the Calgary meetup is dog friendly because she's bringing her dog too. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know, but JoJo's coming. We got to figure it out. That's all I got to say about that. But anyway,
yeah, there are hotels in this area that are pet friendly. So
yeah. Well, I figure because there are everywhere, especially like more and more are sort of happening. So, but anyway, with all that said, let's get into today's stories. Let us know what you guys think, and again, check all those things out. The meetups if you're interested and joining us and all of that. So, all right. So sad news. I got to get my write up here because my computer crashed earlier, and not fun, but I think it's going to be okay. So fortunately I saved my write ups because I do that. I try to anyway. So you guys probably heard about Michael Madsen. Extraordinary actor Michael Madsen has passed away. Madsen died at his Malibu home on July the 3rd of cardiac arrest at the age of 67. He will most famously be remembered for his legendary acting career, breaking into the scene with 1983 sci-fi thriller War Games. I saw that movie like way back, but I don't remember anything about it. I was way too young. He soon found himself in director Quentin Tarantino's stable of actors starring in movies such as Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Madsen was also passionate about charity, contributing to causes such as Shriners Hospital for Children and Advocate Children's Hospital. Madsen is survived by his wife Deanna Morgan and his 7 children. Not adopted from like Africa, like his actual kids. So I don't know if you guys liked Reservoir Dogs. It was a favorite of mine, as well as I like Kill Bill a lot too. So sad for Michael Madsen. But anyway, just a short one. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on
that. Shall we look at some quotes? Something I like to do when we do these eulogies. Quotes from the man himself. a person's best eulogy is often their own words, as far as I can tell. So I looked up some of his quotes. Quote, I probably made a few pictures I shouldn't have done, but I have 4 sons and I have to pay the rent. If you have a decision to make about whether or not you can buy groceries at the market or whether or not you're going to make a bad movie, you're going to make a bad movie, end quote. Quote, is it really selling out if it feeds your family? End quote. It's a good point. With all the AAA list Uber stars getting most of the spotlight and most of the money, it's easy to forget that the vast majority of actors are grinding hard through whatever they can find because they have to. Very often because they need to pay for their divorce or their multiple divorces, but sometimes just because they need to feed their kids. And yeah, usually both. Michael Madsen was indeed married 3 times, in case you were wondering. I don't know the details, and it's probably not the point. Quote, I encourage my boys to do stuff in the arts, but I'm also an advocate of not taking any shit. I have a heavy bag, and every morning the boys go 3 3-minute rounds on the heavy bag with the gloves, end quote. Quote, encourage your kids' artistic side, toughen up everything else, end quote. Based. I mean, can't argue with that. Quote, your children don't have to fear you to respect you. True. Quote, kids are a great excuse for you to stop acting like one. Also true. Quote, the oddest thing is when children recognize me from Free Willy and their parents recognize me from Reservoir Dogs. The kids are like, there's Glenn. And the parents are like, don't go near that guy. Pretty funny. Yeah. He didn't go in for big, profound statements like some arty-farty assholes sometimes do. He seems like a pretty down-to-earth, pretty humble guy. Not something you would expect from a Hollywood actor. So definitely worth